happening, gamers? It's K-Wing here, and I am here with Ken.
How you guys doing?
I'm doing awesome. PAX is awesome.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love it. It's one of our favorite shows to do, you know. First time we're having Sonic 4 in front of the consumers, so far so good.
Well, a lot of us East Coasters can't make it out to the West Coast for E3, so this is the next best thing.
Yeah, no, that's cool, and it's actually personally my first time in Boston, and I'm loving it.
Beautiful city. So anyway, what can you tell us about Sonic 4 Part 2?
Sure. Well, right away, I think fans are going to notice some huge differences from Episode 1. Most noticeably is the brand new physics engine. We definitely heard a lot of fan feedback from the first one, and we wanted to really take that into consideration. So we took a year and a half, built a brand new physics engine. That physics engine is way more momentum style physics, more like the Genesis than Ep 1 was. And of course we have a brand new graphical engine, so instead of using pre-rendered 2D assets, we're actually using real-time 3D assets within the game. So the game looks so much better than Episode 1 did visually, and of course from a gameplay standpoint, I think Genesis fans are going to be much happier with this offering.
Yeah, I've definitely been very impressed with what I've seen. You can see the drastic difference compared to the first incarnation that you guys did, and I'm really liking the tag team element that you guys have done with Tails and Sonic. Can you talk a little bit more about what Sonic and Tails do in this game?
Sure. I mean, you're going to be able to see what's the best way to answer that? So I think when you take a look at Sonic 2, for example, or Sonic 3, Sonic and Tails, the interaction was really limited to Tails picking up Sonic and sort of putting him on a higher ledge and elevation. With Episode 2, what we're doing is we're really expanding that dynamic. So Tails will now not only be able to pick Sonic up, but he'll be able to combine with Sonic to do a super spin dash attack, which is going to be able to traverse walls and different areas you couldn't traverse otherwise. It's also a more powerful attack, so Badniks that may take 3, 4, even 5 hits to kill now would take 1 if you're using it. It's a little tougher to control, and so that's why we're balancing that out, so it's not just a super weapon you can always use. And then on top of that, underwater, Sonic has always been very slow. You know, you walk slow underwater, looking for the air bubbles. Now, you're going to be able to use Tails like a propeller, like a submarine, and basically have him pick up and swim with Sonic. Really cool things, really ways that we're expanding on it, and definitely making it so Player 2 and Player 1, you know, have a much more even time playing. Basically what we're doing is we're kicking up the importance of Tails within the Sonic 4 franchise.
Yeah, I actually saw that. I like the interaction between Tails and Sonic in this one, and also all the really cool puzzles that you have in this game. Very different than the last game.
Yeah, every zone that we did, we expanded on a little bit more. So even though they're the same number of zones and the same number of acts, it's actually a bigger game than the first one, and we're incorporating a lot of environmental obstacles. So we just unveiled the basically the desert level, and within that, like in a desert, you know, you're going to have sandstorms, you're going to have oil slicks because there's a refinery there, and of course the Badniks will light the oil slicks on fire, so you're going to be able to have a lot more interesting environmental obstacles than you would have had before. In the snow, you've got avalanches chasing you, underwater caverns, you've just got a lot more to play with, and of course there's a much more in-depth polish on this version. So when you look at Sylvania Castle Zone, you're going to notice butterflies in the air. When you go underwater, not only are there fish, but there's different variety of fish playing around. So ultimately what you want to look at is there's much more polish this time around than there was at number 1.
Very nice. So when can we expect the game to drop?
So the game's going to be dropping mid-May for most devices, May 15th on your PlayStation, 16th on your Xbox, and of course it's going to be dropping around that time frame for iOS, Tegra 3 Android devices, PC via Steam, and then of course in July we have Windows Mobile 7.
Okay, one last question, Ken. Can you tell us anything about Supersonic's involvement in this game?
I guess you're going to have to wait and see, but the Chaos Emeralds are back. The special stages are back. We have the half pipes, and then of course we just announced lock-on technology. So if you have Episode 1 on any device, buy Episode 2 on the same device, you're going to get Episode Metal for free, and it's about 20% more content, totally free for the consumer.
Okay, I won't drag you for information. Thank you.
That's all right. Thank you guys, and thanks for being here.
Really awesome.
Cheers.
All right, we out.